Y'all, thank you for purchasing my fillable scallop monogram set. This is just going to be a quick tutorial of how to use the letters in Canva and how the file is set up and just some of the things you can do with it as well as exporting. So first, when you open the file, if you go to your grid view, you can see how I have the letters grouped. I have all of the A's together, and so forth for each letter. And then when you scroll down, I have them all separated out and titled as well. For example, A left, A middle, A right. That way, if you just want to go ahead and make a whole set at one time, it's easier for you to do so and export them all out and then put them together later. I have all the way through Z as well. So for an example, let's just go to all of the A's here. If you go over to Canva and click uploads, you can upload a pattern or file yourself, or if you already have one loaded in, you can go ahead and grab it. And you're just going to grab it and drop it over the landscape for each of the 3 letters for this. Another thing in Canva, if you double click on it, you can see how the entire 12 by 12 sheet pops up. You can rearrange, that way you can see different portions of the pattern through the letter. I'm just going to go ahead and kind of do that for all of them. Let me pull this one a little bit this way. All right, and there is the fillable A's. Another thing is if you go into position and then layers, there is a border here and you can change that color as well for the border if you want to change it to like a purple. Also, if you go into the layers, if you want to make this border a little bit thicker, you can drag it on top of the pattern. You can see it's a little bit thicker there. The reason why it's on the bottom is that way you can fill the letters easier without having to drag off the border. Or if you don't want the border altogether, you can just delete it. There are some great monograms out there that don't have a border at all. Depending on your software, if you're doing HTV and you need to add bleed outline, sometimes the border is easier. If it's just DTF or DTG, sometimes you don't need a border. So all up to you and your preferences. So when you go to export, you just go over here to share, and then you go to download. And then you do need the Canva Pro to do transparent backgrounds, I believe. But you can export this without a transparent background, and for most cases, it'll be fine. You want to go ahead and make sure that you're only selecting the pages you need. So for example, we only needed page 3. If you're doing the whole alphabet later for all the left, middle, rights, you can go ahead and select all those. Once those are done, just click done. Something else you can do also is if you pull up another blank design, instead of going back and forth, and if you always, for example, want to keep a base copy of this and not make all your edits in here, you can scroll around. For example, if you go to the H, you can drag and select to get both the fillable and the border, and just Control-C on your keyboard or click copy and pop in to your other canvas. And for example, let's go ahead and grab another letter. For example, let's do the middle N. Select copy to get all that, paste it in. And you can see it's pasting in pretty much exactly where I had it, or where you're copying from the next sheet on the previous sheet. And let's copy that last right one. And for the most part, it all ends up perfectly. And again, you can go to uploads and just drag and drop in the pattern, rearrange it however you want, and boom. Then you can, title it up here however you want, Agent S, scallop. Everyone has their own preferences on how they save their files, but that's also an option to make your monogram sets if you want to, not work in the base file equivalently. If you have any questions, please message me or send me an email at digitals@handmadepiecesco.com. I'll put the email in the file as well. That way you always have it for reference. But thank you so much, and I hope this tutorial helps.